Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni, your favorite YouTuber. So after doing all the lessons summary and all the lessons questions, now this is the last lesson, Yellow Fish, under second semester BCom General English. Yellow Fish, famous story by Ambai. And in this video, I'm going to give you the important 2 marks questions from this story. For summary, I suggest you to watch my video on the summary of Yellow Fish. Let's begin the questions. Question number 1. What season is described at the beginning of the story Yellow Fish? Which season? High summer. High summer is described with hot sand and a shrunken sea. How does the author describe the sea and the sand? The sea draws the eye. Despite the desert like sand, the sea's faded blue and ash gray, while the sand feels hot and dry. What signals the arrival of the fishing boats? When the fishing boats arrive, what kind of signal does it give? A white boat that appears like a swan signals the return of the fishing boats. What colors are used to describe the fisher women's sari? Indigo, red, green, and blue vibrant colors that stand out against the faded backdrops. How are the fishermen and their work described? Their bodies are darkened by salt wind, and they sought fish efficiently once the boats reached the shore. What sensory imagery is used to describe the scene? The text uses we find here many visual colors, the feel of hot sand, sound of the tired voices to create a sensory collage. Then what happens to the yellowfish? The yellowfish is thrown away on the hot sand and begins to gasp and shudder. How is the fish described? The fish is described as pale yellow with black spots. It shudders, its mouth gasping for water. What does the writer, associate the gasping fish with? It's associated with her infant daughter Jalaja, who also gasped for air in an incubator. So the writer has connected the gasping fish with her infant daughter Jalaja, who is in the incubator, who is gasping for air in an incubator. Then, who is Jalaja and what has happened to her? Jalaja was the narrator's infant daughter who struggled for life in an incubator, but presumably, we can presume is she's no more, she dies. What symbolic connection is made with the urn? The ashes of someone, that means possibly we can find here the ashes of Jalaja were brought in an urn which resembles the ancient burial jars. The narrator connects fixates to its closed mouth, linking it with death and suffocation. Then why does the narrator demand the urn to be opened? Out of grief and need for closure, the mouth of the urn becomes symbolic of silenced life and unexpressed pain. So, out of grief, the poet demands that the urn should be opened because it's a symbol of silenced life and the unexpressed grief. How does the narrator try to help the fish? Ambai, the narrator, attempts to lift it with her fingers and then with a leaf, but fails. Who ultimately helps the yellowfish? A fisher boy who is called in Marathi. He grabs the fish and throws it back into the sea. How does the yellowfish behave in the water? At first, the yellowfish is helpless, but later it regains strength, swishes its tail, and swims away confidently. What does the yellowfish symbolize in the story? The yellowfish symbolizes fragile life, suffering, and the possibility of survival or rebirth. It also shows the narrator's grief and emotional release. Then, how is the water portrayed in contrast to the sand in the story? Water is life-giving and healing, while the sand represents heat, death, and lifelessness. Last question. What is the effect of what is the effect of blending personal grief with the natural setting? It deepens the emotional impact of the story. It shows how memory, loss, and healing are shown or mirrored in the nature. So this is how I have brought here 18 important questions from the story Yellowfish, and I have done all the lessons 2 marks questions, all the lesson summary, and all these things you can see in the description box. All the links are available in the description box in the playlist, and very shortly you will also be getting the model question paper solution also. So stay tuned with Mukesh English. Subscribe the channel for more videos in second semester BCom General English under Bangalore University. Thank you so much.